Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another 7 o'clock bedtime stories. Now, thank you so much, all these children that have been commenting on the videos. I had loads yesterday, and I got lots and lots of hellos to say today. Because it's such a long list, I've got written right in front of me here, and because it's such a long list, every time I say 4 names, we'll say a big hey at the end of it instead of singing a hello song. Are you ready? Ludwig, Shimon, Ethan, Jacob, hey! April, Holly, Sophia, Eliana, hey! Charlotte, Seong-Hoo, Harvey, Josh, you are? Hey! Alia, AJ, Jensen, James, hey! William, Lucas, Danielle, hey! And a very big hello to Zach in Cherry class, because today he is this many, 5 years old. So hopefully he's been having a lovely birthday. I wonder if he had a birthday cake, or maybe he could put that in the comments and tell me about his birthday cake. Now, last night on Twitter, you were voting for a story, and I'm very happy about this one because it was my favourite choice of them all. It's this one, Piggybook, and it's by an author called Anthony Brown, and we've heard that author before because he wrote the story Gorilla, and that was a really, really good one. And he also wrote Silly Billy. We've read that one too. So it's a really good story, and I like it because it's called Piggybook, and Mummy is giving Dad and the sons a piggy back. And this story has got a lot to do with pigs, so you've got to really, really pay attention. I'll bring you a tiny little bit closer. Excuse the big face again, so we can see the pictures really clear. Now, just a bit of a word of warning here. This book has been so well loved, it is falling apart. And sometimes that happens when a book's been read so many times. It's very old. So not only is the book falling apart a little bit, it might have some drawing in the book, so try and ignore that if you can. There we go. Mr. Piggot lived with his 2 sons, Simon and Patrick, in a nice house with a nice garden and a nice car in the nice garage. And inside the house was his wife. Didn't say nice wife. Didn't say nice mummy, just wife. I wonder why she's not in the picture. Oh, this is a bit about, I was reminding you about the drawing. Somebody not very sensible has been drawing on this part. Hurry up with the breakfast, dear, he called every morning before he went to his very important job. Hurry up with the breakfast, Mum, Simon and Patrick called before they went to their very important school. Now, work and school is very important. But do mums have important things to do? Do they have jobs to go to? Do they have jobs around the house? She's not even in this picture again. And the boy is there looking very greedy, with big open mouth. Feed me, he's saying. Oh, look, here's Mum. After they left the house, Mrs. Piggot washed all the breakfast things. You notice how the picture is very small and dark, and we can't even see Mum's face here. She made all the beds. She vacuumed all the carpets, and then she went to work. Doesn't say important work, it just says work. I wonder if Mum's work is important, and all the jobs she's been doing around the house, I wonder if they're important too. Hurry up with the meal, Mum, the boys called every morning when they came home from their very important school. Hurry up with the meal, old girl, Mr. Piggot called every evening when he came home from his very important work. Now, this picture is good. Are you going to look very carefully for some signs of some pigs? If you look carefully at Daddy's shadow here, there's the shadow of a pig. And also, the rose here, you have to, if I do it really closely, you might be able to see it's a little piggy's face. Oh dear. Maybe he's acting like a bit of a pig. There. But Mum, she did it. She made him nice sausages and chips and peas. Ooh, delicious. As soon as they had eaten, Mrs. Piggot, she washed the dishes, she washed the clothes, she did the ironing, and then she cooked some more. Oh, look, can you see the difference between Dad's brightly coloured big picture and Mum's brownish colour small pictures? Maybe that makes them think maybe Mum's not as important as them. But she's definitely very busy doing all these jobs. I bet they're doing loads of jobs too. What do you think? Oh dear. They're not. They're vegging out in front of the TV. Even the cat is being a lazy bones. Looks like my cat, actually. Can you spot any more piggies in here? Oh, look, it's a bit difficult because the page is broken. There's a piggy bank. One evening, when the boys got home from school, there was nobody there to greet them. "Where's Mum?" demanded Mr. Piggot when he got home from work. There's Daddy getting home from work, Mr. Piggot, and he's still got his piggy rose on. The door handle has turned into a pig, and this light switch is even starting to look like a pig now. Oh dear. She was nowhere to be found. But on the mantelpiece there was an envelope. Mr. Piggot opened it, and inside there was a piece of paper from Mummy. "You are pigs," it said. What did you notice about Dad's hand? It's turned into a trotter, and the wallpaper has even turned into pigs. Why do you think Mum might have called them pigs? Do you think they might have been acting like pigs? Well, if they weren't acting like pigs then, they definitely are now. There they are. Oh look, all of a sudden their picture's got a bit darker, hasn't it? But oh look, they're starting to look like pigs. "But what shall we do?" said Mr. Piggot. They had to make their own dinner. It took hours, and guess what? It was horrible. The next morning, they even had to make their own breakfast. And guess what? It took hours, and it was horrible. Look carefully. The salt and pepper are pigs now. Oh dear. They're not getting on very well without Mummy there, are they? The next day, and the next night, and the day after that, Mrs. Piggot was still not there. Mr. Piggot, Simon and Patrick tried to look after themselves, but they never washed the dishes. They never washed their clothes, and soon the house was a pigsty. A pigsty is where pigs live. And look, the taps are starting to turn into pigs as well. "When is Mum coming home?" the boys squealed after another horrible meal. "How should I know?" Mr. Piggot grunted. Like a pig. They all became more and more grumpy. There they are, looking very grumpy and, ooh, grubby too. Look at the state of Daddy's clothes. But even, look, the dog is starting to look like a pig, and the telephone is starting to look like a pig. And I think even this bush outside is starting to look like a pig too. What do you think? Oh, I wonder if she's going to come back. Have they learned their lesson by now? One night, there was nothing in the house for them to cook. "We'll just have to root around and find some scraps," snorted Mr. Piggot. Look all this mess on the floor, all of this up the walls. Oh, look, and they're on their hands and knees trying to look for some food. But just then, oh, hallelujah, Mrs. Piggot walked in. Yippee, she's there to save the day. And look at them, they're all on their knees. I think they are very thankful that Mum has come home. And finally, we can see what Mummy looks like. We can see her face, and the picture is looking in colour again. Oh, they are a sorry state. There they are. Please come back. They snuffled. I wonder if they've learned their lesson about not being such lazy bones. What do you think? So Mrs. Piggot stayed. And Mr. Piggot, he washed all of the dishes. Finally! Patrick and Simon made their beds. Finally! And Mr. Piggot did the ironing. Oh, thank goodness for that. And they all helped with the cooking. And guess what? They actually enjoyed it. They don't look like pigs anymore. And Mum, she was happy too. Why do you think she might be happy? Maybe because she doesn't have to do all the jobs by herself and that her family appreciate her? No, she was happy because she got to mend the car. There she is. And look at this picture now. We can see her smiley face and it's in colour. And she's got a very important job there, hasn't she? Well done, Mum. She was a superstar of our story. That's why I really like that one. So tomorrow there are two choices. They're going to go up on Twitter tonight. And one of them was a request today from April and Holly, who said that they would really like to have Room on the Broom because it is their daddy's favourite story. And guess what? Tomorrow is a special day for their daddy. It's his birthday. And they said, wouldn't it be so nice, Mrs. Wood, if we could have our dad's favourite story on his birthday? That really would be nice, wouldn't it? So you get to decide that. You get to have a vote and see if you think their dad could have that story tomorrow. And there's another choice for you as well. It's called There's a Dinosaur. Ooh, there's a dinosaur in my bathtub. So you can go and get voting for the story that you would like tomorrow. I'll pop them onto Twitter and have a vote. As always, don't forget to comment and I will see you again tomorrow.